Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. We're actually doing angel readings today. Now, I post these readings every single Sunday. We ask for an immediate message. Every Sunday, an immediate message for you. And then we look at the week ahead, what's happening. And thank you so much, all of you who are returning and who follow these readings every week. And also to those of you who check in with the other readings I do as well. And welcome anyone new. So beautiful souls, I really heard loud and clear today to do angel readings. So we have 3 beautiful angels and some Archangel Michael cards. And we have lots of angel cards to use today in our readings to get an immediate message for you. I will also draw runes and charms as well, because I know right at the start some of you really like to see those as well. Now I am seeing, we're drawing 3 cards together. I'm seeing this for pile 1. I'm seeing this one. Oh, there's 2. Here we go. This for pile 2 and this for pile 3. Okay, so these are Archangel Michael cards, and all the cards I use, by the way, beautiful souls, I always put a list of them in the description and in a comment as well. So you can always find them if there are cards that are really singing to you. So let us have a look at what we have here. We have for pile 1, we have Pray from the Heart. Okay, so this is for pile 1. And pile 1 is sitting with this beautiful tiger eye angel. I'll just show this to you. And I'll draw the runes and the charms in a moment. I know some of you may literally, as soon as you see the card, you know that's the reading for you. And you don't need the additional kind of energy of the runes and the charms, but I know others really enjoy that. So, pile 2, Trust in Divine Purpose. This is your card, pile 2. And you have the Rose Quartz Angel. This is what this looks like. Really beautiful. Rose quartz. And for pile 3, we have Open Up to Your Spiritual Gifts. This is for pile 3. So we're getting an immediate message for you today. That's what we're asking for. And we'll look at the week ahead as well. And this is the white quartz angel for pile 3. Okay. Now, let's draw the rune and a charm as well, the runes. So for pile 1, one has glued to me already. This is the rune Sewello of Wholeness. And your charm is a crab. So that's for pile 1. Where shall I put these? I'll put this here, and maybe a little counter with your charm on there. That should work. Okay. Now pile 2. Your charm is it's the Om sign, and the rune is Fehu. This is the rune of nourishment, of possessions, of ambitions, satisfied sometimes. Quite exciting. Okay, let's put that there for your charm and put this next to your angel. So this is for pile 2. And for pile 3, we have Perth, the rune of initiation, and your charm is an owl. Okay, let's put these here as well. So beautiful souls, I am now going to leave the video running just for a few moments, because I know, sometimes you might just want to sit with this and see which of these elements, which of these energies are speaking to you. The timestamps, as always, are in the description box below. You can ping to any one of these that you want. They are timeless readings, so you can come back to these. If you go onto the homepage, we are building playlists, slowly but surely adding the relevant videos into them all. We have playlists now, and we're slowly but surely adding them. My daughter is helping me with this, actually making sure that the right videos go in the right playlists. And so you can find immediate messages at any time. So it is timeless. But whenever you come to this reading, if you find that more than one pile is speaking to you, it is probably worth checking out more than one reading. That very often happens. We're all navigating lots of different areas of our worlds, and so sometimes more than one message will be coming through. Beautiful souls, just trust your intuition, and I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Hey, Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's draw angel cards and find out what message is coming through for you. What do you need to know immediately? Now, I am seeing both of these coming through for you. So we'll draw your oracle cards first, and then we will draw from the Archangel Tarot pack as well, the Power Tarot. Okay. We have... there is your card. Magic. Just magic. Okay, lovely souls. I hope you're all doing amazingly well. Thank you so much for being here today. Okay, we have Angels of the Universe and Angel of Unity. How interesting. Gosh, this is fascinating. Very, very fascinating. I am very intrigued by your reading already. We have Archangel Raphael, see with enlightened eyes, open to abundance. We have relationship harmony, Archangel Raguel. We angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now, Angel of Unity. How interesting. Pray from the heart. Prayer can really move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. Okay. Now, Cancer, the crab, as a sign brings a lot of nurture, a lot of nurturing, very homey energy. Tiger Eye is an angel of protection. It brings protection and good luck. And Suelo talks about walking a particular pathway. And here you are, walking a particular pathway, my beautiful Pile 1s. Let me move that along, see if we can get all those in. Yes, we can. Fantastic. Okay. I feel like you are going to bring some people together or find a resolution to something. And I think that actually is your very first message, which is just pray, ask for help, ask for guidance. There is a situation around you where there is either discord or something hasn't, it could be a disagreement. We are opening the hearts of everyone. I feel that you are the person in this situation who holds the higher ground, okay? Now, I think you're, in your own personal way, if this is the reading you've been drawn to and this is resonating, I think you will know what this is. Or if some of you don't know what this is, it may be that there is some sort of discord that is going to come to light. But this is really honouring the pathway that you are walking, because I think you're holding the higher ground in something. And it's because you hold the higher grounds that I think you're going to be able to bring people together. You might even find, some of you, that you're stuck in between people in some way, shape or form. Let's draw your tarot cards as well. What I see here, though, with this card of opportunity is that there's something in this that is going to be almost like a blessing in disguise. Well, there's something of great benefit coming to you because of the role you're playing, bringing people together. Maybe it is because it's a role of leadership. Maybe you're stepping up to help people to resolve conflicts. May we please have additional guidance? We have the Five of Michael. I see this and this and this and this, and I'm seeing these four in a moment. I'm just going to put them to one side. Okay, let's place those down there and look at these first. So we have Divine Guidance, Archangel Sandalphon, the search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Eight of Gabriel, a great deal of activity. Sudden and immediate results. We have the Nine of Ariel. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. And then Page of Raphael, a new emotional situation sitting under relationship harmony. How exciting. Okay. Right. Even though something is not, I feel like there is some discord around you in some way, shape or form, my beautiful souls. Now, you haven't done anything wrong. I need to really state this really loud and clear. This is not you have not done anything wrong. There's nothing like that. I don't know quite what this discord is, and I will perhaps draw more cards to see if I can get a little bit more information if it feels appropriate. But your primary message is, the immediate message is that you're going to find your way through this. Hold the higher ground, walk tall. There's actually only one approach to this, and I think you're already walking that pathway. I find it really interesting. I'm putting my hands together like this as I'm talking. I think body language is fascinating, isn't it? When you suddenly notice that you are doing something, and I'm doing this a lot here, and I'm seeing these hands here praying. How interesting. Yeah, I just, yeah. There's something around you, almost like you would want to, you just want to pray for it to be over, or you want to pray to see the right way forward, or pray to find a solution. Or now the solution is coming, and actually I think it will shift very quickly. We'll draw cards around the week to have a look at how this is happening, because this is a weekly reading. Whenever you come to it, it is of course timeless. But whatever this is around you that doesn't feel right, there's an opportunity in it. There's going to be like a silver lining, or almost like a golden lining here. So you're needing to, when it says release your attachment to the outcome, consider taking a more uplifting approach. It may be that the discord or the difficulty is kind of getting you down a bit, weighing you down. But you have divine guidance. This is the Hierophant in a traditional pack, Archangel Sandalphon. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. And this is sitting under the angels of the universe. I think for some of you, this also might feel a bit like you're looking for the light at the end of the tunnel with something. What we are seeing is a very sudden shift in something. A great deal of activity. This is like the Eight of Wands. It's a fast-moving card. It's happening. And your dreams fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. Important communication. And then we have this lovely kind of new start here. So If there is an actual situation for some of you, I'm hearing different messages. So if there's a situation with a particular person, I think you'll be able to find a resolution. Pray, of course, and ask for help. Your angels can't step in and help you unless you ask. You have conscious free will and choice. So if there is a situation with an individual person, just pray. Pray from the heart and watch miracles unfold. This is what this says. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. I think you'll be guided, especially with the equivalent of the Hierophant. And literally things will just shift very, very quickly. I think some solution or some situation will change. And I do think that you'll suddenly sort of feel like You know, whatever the discord, it will have been worth it. So if you've had an issue with somebody or a problem with someone, just ask for help, ask for assistance. And yeah, I think it will turn a corner. I think that's what we're seeing. We're getting into a space of like a new beginning in a relationship, potentially, if there has been difficulty. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So simply ask for help if there is a conflict or an argument, and it doesn't pay you to remain in a position of conflict. Or so I also want to say, kind of, don't bear a grudge or feel, you know, hold on to what's happened. Let that go and move on. Now, if this is a situation that's going on around you, let's say there's some discord in a team at work, for example, something like that. I think if you just hold the higher ground, you know, for example, if you were a manager and you're managing a team and there's a real problem in your team, and you know there's a real problem, but you're really not sure how to resolve it. You can see there's conflict between people, and here you are trying to manage a team that aren't getting on with each other, for example, and that could apply to a family situation as well. Or even within friends, you could be stuck in the middle between two people who both hold different viewpoints and different perspectives, and you're like, oh, okay, well, how do I do this? You know, both of you, you know, talking to me from both sides. Just, again, pray. Noticing my hands, just pray from the heart. I think you're going to be able to bring people together if that is your situation. You'll be guided, you'll be shown the way. I think there's a way of being able to honour difference. Do you know, this is so fascinating. Before I was starting these readings, I find it fascinating, literally, before, just as I had got all my cards ready, my mind kind of wandered. You know, I'm entering the dream time when I'm working with readings. It's a very different space of being. And where my mind went, I mean, I need to say thank you so much, all of you who comment here. And it is truly... you know, this is relevant. So I'm not just going off on a tangent. This is relevant. Thank you so much to all of you who comment, you know, for your love of me and your love and support of one another. I just feel this channel is becoming such an amazing community, and it's just beautiful to listen to your comments. Now, what crossed my mind and came into my mind as I was preparing, and I just kind of listened to it and then kind of moved into the space of reading and cleansed and got grounded and centered. But what came through was there were a couple of comments. It's very rare. Most of the time, all of the comments here are absolutely stunningly supportive. Even if someone is putting forward an interesting perspective, they're putting it forward as an interesting perspective, as opposed to a critical perspective. And recently, there have been a couple of comments that were quite critical. And I found myself thinking, you know, do I respond to these or not? Because as a community, you know, we always have a choice. As individuals, we always have a choice as to how we respond to something. You know, if we hold a different perspective, you know, we can put that perspective forwards and it can expand people's horizons. If we put forward a critical or a judgmental perspective, then we're trying to get someone to do it our way, as opposed to honouring difference. And the comments that had come to mind just as I started these readings was one with somebody saying, kind of in a way, I mean, I read very intuitively, saying, you know, don't you ever kind of actually read the guidebooks, because this card means this and this card means this. And it felt actually, though, as if that comment came in with a very critical edge. It's like, why don't you do it this way? And I kind of thought, actually, I read very intuitively, and I found myself thinking, you know, I pondered at the time when I saw the comment, should I respond or should I not respond? I really welcome people's perspectives, but actually it's not okay for me to try. If I was to try and read in a different way, I wouldn't be being me. I wouldn't be being authentically Jenny. And so I need to read as I read, and there will be many other readers out there. I sort of almost wanted to encourage whoever that was to actually go and explore other tarot channels and find a reader. If you want a reader who reads in a more, you know, sort of following the book way, then there will be readers out there. Go and find the right person for you, rather than I felt trying to, you know, get me to do something differently. I need to be me. I need to read as I read. So it was really interesting that came to mind in my preparations for these readings. The relevance to your reading is that I feel there's something of that here in holding the higher ground. If you find yourself stuck between two people's opposing perspectives, actually both are probably valid. I mean, if you're managing a team of people, then it's kind of about actually it's like if you're managing a team of people, it's getting the best of out of everyone, recognizing if one person is good at one thing and one person's good at another, then both of those contributions are equally valuable. It's just that they're different. So it's rather than trying to get one person to do a particular task that they're not particularly into and another person to do a particular task that they're not into, you get them to do the task that they're good at. It's like getting the best of people. And I think there's something of that in this reading, getting the best of a situation here. And I think there is a best that can be found, which honours difference. I think it honours different ways of seeing things, see with enlightened eyes. And this says open to abundance. And look, I mean, this could not be a greater card visually of abundance. So there is an opportunity. I mean, literally, I said there's not just a silver lining, it's a golden lining here. Let's get a bit more information. So 3 of Michael, release the past, you will grow from this situation. Time heals all wounds. Okay. We have 8 of Raphael, there is something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you. How interesting, as that was coming through in that story about the comment. What do you know? Do what is right for you, a spiritual quest. And 5 of Ariel, you needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Pray from the heart. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. Okay. So, my beautiful souls, we know your primary message is that whatever situation there is around you of discord, you can actually you can fix this. You can come through it, you can pull it together, you can resolve it, you can get the best out of it, and there will be a golden lining. Something better is waiting for you. Now, if any of you, I said don't bear a grudge, so again, that there's something about not holding on to what has happened and moving beyond it here. There's a very big primary message about being able to come through this out the other side, and part of that is to not remain entrenched in what's already taken place. Now, this is an angel of good luck. It's a stone of good luck. It's a stone of protection. You're also being asked definitely to reach out and ask for help here. Let's draw from another tarot pack, and just get a little bit more information about this. So we know this is going to get fixed. We know there's a solution. There's an answer to your prayers, literally. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look at these. Find out a little bit more. So we have the card of the world. Okay, so something needs to be brought to a completion here. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands. How interesting. Particularly when we have the equivalent of the 8 of Wands here. We have the Devil. In this card, I'm really seeing someone say no. Okay, I think you need to maybe, and maybe this can happen this week, actually. I think something's coming to a head with the World card. And it's probably coming to a head. It's probably come to a head already. There is a golden lining here. I think this is about you choosing how you're going to move this forwards. You know, this is like using the energy rather than letting the energy use you. We have the 5 of Wands here, which is a card of competition. They look very competitive in this card. But yeah, you can use this. You can use this to your advantage. We've got the Wheel of Fortune as well. Then we have the 8. How interesting. We have the 8 of Swords, and then we have the 6 of Swords. Okay. I think, my beautiful pile 1, that this is about making a very, you'll be able to make a very clear-cut, you'll have to make a very clear-cut choice. And if something hasn't come to a head yet, I think it's going to. I think a situation's just literally going to present itself where you do actually have to make a clear-cut choice. And it's really purposeful because there's something better waiting for you. You know, we've been shown that already. There is something better waiting for you. So rather than dwelling in the sort of the challenge of a situation, pray from the heart. And again, this is a card of both competition and collaboration. I think this is both holding your ground and kind of like having to stand your ground over something, actually. Holding that higher perspective. Not being drawn into something that's negative or a negative perspective. You know, back to those different scenarios we talked about. You know, if this is a one-on-one connection, I think this is honestly about standing your ground, just being really firm about what you will accept and what you won't accept. Be really clear. I think if this is like a team you're managing, again, really clear and firm with your boundaries, what you will accept, what you won't. You know, it's holding the higher ground, holding that perspective, unity. You know, honouring everybody's points of view, but at the same time, you know, being really clear about what is okay and what isn't, or being really clear that you're committed to finding a solution. You know, if you've got two friends that are both bending your ear and wanting you to take sides, it would be like, do you know what? Actually, I'm really sorry, but I'm not prepared to take sides here. Look at my hands again. I'm not prepared to take sides here. You know, actually, I recognise both sides of the story and I can appreciate both sides of the story. I'm not prepared to, you know, take sides, but at the same time, you know, I honour both of you and I believe we can find a solution forwards. There's something here where you either mediate or you navigate. You move something forwards here. And even though... yeah, because I feel holding this higher perspective as well. I think you're the one that comes up with the solution to something, actually. I think you'll be ever so respected for this as well. And whatever it is, whatever the conflict is, I think it'll be left behind. That's what we're seeing. There's a resolution here and you'll be able to move forwards from it. At the moment, it's as if the conflict or the problem, the solution can't be seen. Hence, pray from the heart. And I do think it's coming to a head. And I do think you could feel a bit torn as to which direction to go in. But the key here is just to get really, really clear. You know, I mean, you could feel quite fired up about this, actually. Be really clear about holding the higher ground. Be really clear about what is okay and what isn't for you. And this is about for you. You know, what you will accept and what you won't accept. And everything then shifts and changes here. Let's just ask for a few more cards to find out if we can get any more information. Very interesting. The energy around you. I mean, nurture is needed here. Can we have any more guidance about how this actually shifts? I mean, I'm seeing this message of hold the higher ground, see it from a different lens, don't tolerate things that you shouldn't tolerate. You know, just be really, really boundaried about what is okay and what isn't okay, and move it forwards. You know, it will move forwards. May I just check? And we've got relationship harmony, something very lovely. I think this is a lot to do with boundaries, actually. And we see such a positive result. May I please ask, why is it feeling so, because it feels quite fraught, almost as if this is it feels quite a challenge. And yet we're seeing a really positive outcome. I'm wondering why is this so challenging? Why is this so challenging? Maybe just see what this is about. Okay, 10 of Michael. Okay, and then Knight of Raphael. It says a situation has ended and you are finally free. Okay. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. Knight of Raphael, romantic, dramatic, poetic, introspective, committed romantic relationships being swept off your feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So we're seeing, back to same as this, a new emotional situation. Something coming to an end. I was asking more about the conflict, but in fact we're not being given more about the conflict. We're just being given an affirmation of it ending, which is lovely. Absolutely lovely. Your message actually is very clear. Am I trying to ask more about the conflict and the difficulty, and it's as though we're not to be given that. This is part of this. Don't dwell in the difficulty. Dwell in what will be coming by holding the higher ground, being clear about what you will and won't do. Something's actually finishing here. There'll be guidance to support this. All you need to do, my beautiful souls, is, I said, it makes it sound terribly simple, is to hold that higher ground, be very boundaried about how you approach this situation, be very clear about your position. I think you will come out of this in a really, really good way. And if it's an existing connection, I think it's going to flow and be really fine. And if it's actually completing something where there's been discord and you simply do need to walk away, I think you will exit in a really clear, firm kind of, maybe if some of you are exiting a circumstance, you're actually saying no to something. If there's any jealousy going on around you, we have the devil here, and we also have the devil, and we also have this card here of the Five of Wands. If you are in a situation where someone is possessive or jealous or controlling, actually, I think, you just need to be very clear that that's not what you're prepared to tolerate. Hold the high ground here. It's you who kind of calls the shot here. You're the one that is walking this pathway. You're the one that is holding that higher ground. But it is interesting that we are seeing unity. We're seeing, we're seeing the end of a situation here. And your part to play in it is simply really walking that very clear pathway of integrity, the higher ground, not being drawn into anything. And with prayer, asking for help, because somehow there seems to me to be a lot of angelic activity going on in the background that is supporting this resolution, whatever it is, whatever's needed. And there will be a golden lining coming through for you. There really will. So, either relationship harmony, so the situation will be resolved and everyone will start to flourish, or indeed it will resolve, come to an end, and the new arrives in a really, really positive way. So however we look at it, I think that's what we are seeing for this week, and very clear messages for you, my beautiful, beautiful pile one. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, and for commenting. And it's very rare that we get negative comments here. You guys are amazing. But it is interesting. I think, whatever happens, it's always food for thought. Actually, in a way, that comment has been a blessing, because it's come into the reading with value. It's helping us to understand how we can look at things, how we can respond to things in ways that bring a positive take on even something that you either that is a positive take on difference. So there is so much benefit in absolutely everything. Always a silver lining, or indeed a golden lining to be found. Pile one, tons of love. I'm sending you so many hugs. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again for some other readings really soon. Pile two, welcome to your readings. You have the Om sign. Trust in divine purpose. This experience has divine meaning. Healing will come. Know that you are on a path of growth. Well, wow. You have the beautiful energy of rose quartz and also Feihu. Feihu is a rune of possessions, nourishment, also ambitions satisfied. So something really good coming your way. I'm seeing both of these cards for you. Let's draw lots of angel oracle cards and see what we're shown. We have Angel of Inspiration and Angel of Comfort. Okay, we have Guardian Angel. Love yourself unconditionally and ask for help. Okay. Oh, there's your card flying out. You know what to do. Oh, I love this. Archangel Uriel, trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. Now this is interesting. There's a very interesting energy here. Angel of Inspiration, trust in divine purpose. I think you do need to take an action in some sort of way. Let's get more information. Let us get more information. I'm just going to draw a ton more cards. You've got the card of yes. Okay, right. I think there's a choice in front of you. Okay, and maybe you are reticent about making the choice or uncertain. Something is going to come together from this, Angel of Inspiration. But I think you are worried about making the choice. I think you know what you need to do, or you know what you want to do, actually, more to the point here. With Feihu, this possessions, nourishment, it's got a much more, quite a strong feeling of knowing what you actually want. I think you know what you want to do, and there may be a decision you have to make. However, you're not confident about making it for some reason. It could be that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, actually, to do this. And yet the answer appears to be yes. Let's see what other cards we're shown. I'm seeing this, and this, and this, and this one, and that one there. Seeing this, and this, and this, which we will look at in a moment. Okay, let's put those to one side. We have Eight of Gabriel, a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. Okay, how interesting. The Chariot, Archangel Metatron, determination, self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. Okay. Eight of Ariel, take great pride in your excellent work. Practice makes perfect. Consider getting additional education or training. The Lovers, make choices from your heart. Archangel Raphael, deeply emotional commitments, the power of love. Okay, and then we have Perspective. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. This is the Hanged Man in a traditional pack. Okay, how interesting. Right, yeah. You know what you want. You know what you want to do. The card of the Lovers is primarily a card of choice. It's about maturity of choice, I suppose, is a way of looking at it. You know, do you make the choice that looks amazing, or do you want something deeper with a greater depth of connection and emotion? You know, so I do think there is a choice in front of you, and if there isn't, I think it will come. This is a weekly reading. I post these readings every Sunday, and they're timeless, so it doesn't matter when you come to this reading. I think if there isn't a choice in front of you, there's going to be one. I don't think you would be drawn to this reading otherwise. Now, this is a very good pathway. There's a really good choice and a really good pathway to follow. For many of you, it is to do with work. Although we have the card of the Lovers, I do feel this feels as though it's more to do with work. But it could be work, it could be education, and to be fair, it could be love. But I think it's happening fast. So it may be that you have to make a choice quite quickly with both the Chariot and the Eight of Gabriel. I think you could be faced with a choice. It's very inspirational. It feels very good. It feels like it's worth investing in. feels like it's worth having, feels like it's in alignment with what you actually want. However, I do think perspective, I do think with the Hanged Man energy, I think it takes you out of your comfort zone, basically. And that's what we're seeing here. It's like letting go of something that would be very safe or very secure, or stepping into something new and you really want it, but wow, it makes you wobble. That's what we're seeing here. We have the Five of Michael. How interesting. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. Page of Raphael, a new emotional situation. How interesting both these cards actually came out in pile one. If you were drawn to pile one, you may want to check it out. And then we have Eight of Michael. You can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation. Okay. I think that there is a choice in front of you. It takes you out of your comfort zone. It seems to me that the indications are about, you couldn't get a bigger yes, a bigger thumbs up. But I do think that there is anxiety about this. And this is why we've got, I think the situation that doesn't serve you is the perspective of looking through the lens of anxiety and fear, if I'm honest. Trust in divine purpose. This experience has divine meaning. Know that you are on a path of growth. I think that what's being offered to you is a really, really good opportunity. And the fact that it's going to stretch you, or you're wobbling about it, is understandable. But I think the fact that it's going to stretch you is a really, really good thing. So I think this is what your immediate message is about. Let us look at the week ahead a little bit now. Maybe look at the week ahead and perhaps just get any more information about this situation. I think that is that for the moment. Here we go. Right, we have, how interesting, we've got the Queen of Wands. Now she is the Queen of Transformation. I love her energy. Then we actually have, gosh, this is interesting because we've got the Death card here. So we're talking real transformation and change here. This is a big decision to make, okay. We've got we've got the Three of Swords. And we have the Five of Swords. So Three of Swords, Five of Swords. We've then got the King of Swords. Wow, we've got the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Page of Cups. How interesting. What an interesting lineup you have here. Wow. Okay. I just think that the energy, if we think of the Queen of Wands as being the energy of transformation, a path of growth. I mean, it's just profound. And next to the Death card, I mean, wow, this is so transformational. I do think it is worthy of, it's like getting really clear. We've got the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Now, whenever we get a king and a queen of the same suit, this can indicate some kind of relationship, although in this instance it feels like this would be a power couple. Very clear, very dynamic. So whatever this choice is, whether it is connected to a person, a relationship, or whether it's a situation, I do feel what you're moving to. This is about just, it would be a very powerful combination. Let's say whatever the choice is that stretches you, it takes you, it upgrades you in some way, shape, or form here. I think you're being asked here to leave behind the self-doubt and the anxiety here. There's definitely fear of choice here, or difficult. This feels like a difficult choice for you to make. I think there's fear of failure, actually, with the Three of Swords. There's a fear of this going wrong. That's what's sitting at the root of, I was asking about the week ahead, but I mean, maybe that's what you're going to be contemplating. But I think there's a fear of, that this will fail, that it won't work out. Be resolute, like set an intention. Be resolute about your intention. Know what you want. This is about being very committed, very clear-cut and very committed. I think the offer is full of promise. It's a new emotional situation. You can be free, make a courageous choice to change your situation. But this can indicate not seeing things clearly. Yeah, I think there's a fear that something will fail, and that whether this is a love connection, we have the lovers, or whatever the choice is, there is a fear that it won't work out, and that's what your reading is about. But I think it's asking you to put those fears aside and just be really resolute about, very clear cut about your intent. You know, intent colours what we are creating. Our thoughts, our words, our deeds are in the process of creation all of the time. So let's draw just a few more cards to get a bit more information about the week ahead, about this choice, about this decision. But yeah, let's look at the week ahead. Maybe ask specifically about the week ahead, please, for my lovely pile twos. I'm seeing that one too. 4 of Raphael. Seek out other possibilities. Look for the magic in life. Be aware of your own emotions. Okay. King of Raphael. Yes, it is safe to trust. Wonderful. The ability to accomplish many things at once. Follow your creative passions. And then Epiphany. Joy through spiritual growth. This is Archangel Raziel. And this is the card of the Hermit in a traditional pack. Joy through spiritual growth. Be a light to others. Answers that come through meditation. I think that the flavour of your week ahead is, first of all, of you worrying a little bit about this. There is, and again, pondering, let's say, on this decision or this opportunity that's in front of you. I think it contains real possibility with the Page of Cups. At some point in the week, I think you will get some kind of an epiphany. Maybe something will come along to, maybe something will literally come along to help you, to bring you that guidance. Trust in divine purpose, some sort of a sign or a synchronicity. You could be listening to like the radio, you know, when you switch the radio on and the words of a song give you exactly the answer you needed. So really open yourself to receive guidance and trust in divine purpose. You are being guided here. There is a yes, but it is stretching you, and that is why you're sitting in a place of being concerned that it won't work out. There's an anxiety and a concern about making this choice, this commitment. And this card is saying, yes, it's safe to trust. You know, yes is coming through here. The adaptability or the ability here to accomplish many things at once. So I do think that whatever is going to be stretching you, whether this is love, career, whatever, it's actually a really interesting and good pathway to follow here. But I can see that you are anxious about it. So very, very interesting reading. I think this is probably as much as we're going to get. Maybe I'll just draw a couple more cards to see the outcome. If we're shown anything about the outcome, we have 3 showing up immediately. So we have, oh, look at this. So we have the 6 of Pentacles. Wow. I mean, just wow. We have the 6 of, you can get a more positive result. You've got the 6 of Pentacles, you've got the 10 of Pentacles, and you have the Ace of Cups. You couldn't get a greater confirmation of the fact that this is worth investing in, this is worth going for. I mean, it is a yes, isn't it? Look at that. You could not get a beautiful card of generosity, of abundance, you know, of loving this. So yeah, I think the decision is a yes. This is sort of what the message is for you, or the messages are for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. It's such a blessing and a joy to read for you. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, and for just being a part of this community. Thank you for your love of and support of me. And thank you for your love and support of one another. Beautiful souls, just sending you so much love. This looks fabulous, great, exciting. So yeah, I can see that the fear of failure, fear of it going wrong, but wow, I mean, you know, I'm blown away by by this sort of like outcome. It's like it could not be more positive. It just couldn't be. Beautiful souls, tons of love. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Open up to your spiritual gifts. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. We are asking for an immediate message for you today, and we'll check out the week ahead as well. You know, the white quartz energy literally repels negativity. It's like it's water off a duck's back. It bounces off. You have a beautiful owl, a very big owl. Owls are seers. And we have Perth, the rune of initiation. What is your immediate message? May we please have immediate guidance and immediate message for my beautiful pile threes. Ooh, okay. This is interesting. You have, you've got Angel of Procrastination flying out and Angel of Music. She's got headphones on. It's interesting. Because actually, if you walk around with headphones on, you may not hear what's actually being offered to you around you. Angel of Procrastination, she's got headphones on, both of them. How interesting. She looks like she's almost got headphones on. But these are flowers. But how? There's like a headset. Okay. Let's draw more cards before I say any more. But okay, yeah. I mean, my goodness me, you are being sent divine messages. Let nature soothe you. Serve the nature kingdom. Archangel Perlimiek, I think. Perlimiek. I'm not sure how you best pronounce that. But wow, what an energy. Let nature soothe you. Serve the nature kingdom. Oh, wow. Okay. Patience. Archangel Jophiel, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realise. Still, they need nurturing and patience. And angel therapy. Archangel Raphael, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. Okay. I think you are already on a pathway of awakening, or you're following something that involves, or pursuing something or building something that involves using your spiritual gifts. And it's wonderful. It's really, really wonderful. I think the challenge that you're facing is that it is not sort of in kind of practical 3D ways. It's possibly not yet rewarding you or bringing you the income that you need. I think you are on track. Absolutely, I really think you're on track, but I don't think it's happening fast enough. And indeed, some of you may well just be procrastinating. You may actually be finding ways, you know, stuff pops up and gets in the way. And it does, doesn't it? And sometimes it would be like writing a book that really is going to make a gift and to be a gift and a spiritual contribution to many. But actually, you know, writing a book is difficult. It requires patience. You've got to put your bum on the seat and make it happen. And it's not just about dreaming it. You've got to make it real. And that's difficult. Sometimes stuff shows up and it's like it's the last thing you want to do. Even though you do want to do it, you kind of, other stuff comes along. Or maybe you've got writer's block. There's something here that isn't happening as fast or as you need it to or you want it to. And your primary message, I think, is you know, talk to your angels about your cares and your worries and basically keep going. Don't stop. You know, and don't let that, what I would call the kind of, you know, like when you're sitting with almost like an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other, and the angel's saying, look, this is your divine purpose. These are your gifts, you know, please own them, we'll support you. And the devil says this will never work, you know, that's not going to happen. That, you know, you can tell it's not happening because you know, you're not getting paid enough, or the doors aren't opening for you, or you've got writer's block, so obviously you're not meant to do it. It's like this sort of toing and froing going on. Actually, like the white quartz energy, just water off a duck's back. Let negativity be repelled. You know, banish negativity, because you're meant to follow this. Your gifts are here to be nurtured. Look at this beautiful seedling in his hands. I think you are like this seedling here. You need to be nurtured. How interesting! You're the first pile that's got more than one card from this pack, but these three are coming. Ask your angels, Listen to your intuition and no need to worry. That is such a super confirmation, isn't it? I think that's just beautiful. I really, really do. Have patience. Ask your angels for help. Look at this. Give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. Listen to your intuition because you are right. Your gifts are what they are, and you are meant to bring them forth. And I do think you know that. Let's put these over here. I really think you know that. There is no need to worry. Oh, this is just a total reading of reassurance. You know, negativity be gone. You know, see yourself as you really are with the owl. Look, isn't it interesting? All these three people with that, what looks like headphones, they've all got their eyes closed and their ears blocked. See yourself as you really are. Believe in yourself as you really are. Your spiritual gifts are like this beautiful little seedling, and it needs to be nurtured and watered with patience. Look at, we've got a seedling and then we have this beautiful garden growing. This is actually one of my favourite cards, the imagery of this pack. I just, various different artists have contributed this pack, and I love this painting. It always just really inspires me, this beautiful garden. I think this is stunning. Yeah, don't put your gifts down. Don't in any way allow any negativity to get in the way of your self-belief. And you're meant to be doing this. So whatever this means for you, whatever your gifts are, however you might be thinking about bringing them forth, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, all the clairs, you are meant to be bringing something forth and following up, opening your spiritual gifts. This could not be clearer. We have perspective. Archangel Chamuel. This is interesting. This is the Hanged Man in a traditional pack. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. Now this is interesting. This is like another layer of messages coming through. Let's draw tarot cards here and see where we're going with this. We then have the Emperor. Stability and efficiency. Taking charge of a situation. Ambitious plans. Ooh, the card from the base of the pack is coming through. I'll put it there for a minute. Let's just focus on these two for a moment. Okay, I think for some of you as well, you know that you have gifts, and for some of you, you're not even sure how to nurture them or how to bring them forth. For others, there may be a project that isn't moving forwards. For some of you, you really don't know how best to bring this forth, or you could have loads of ideas, but you haven't got a clue which one to follow. Just pause for reflection and ask your angels for guidance and insight. Dare to be different. I think that there is going to be something very unique to you in terms of how you bring your gifts into the world. Look at the way this angel is standing in front of this person here. I think something is to be opened up to show you how your gifts can be utilised or used or brought forth. It'll be very unique for you. Now, some of you have an inkling of an idea already. You may not be quite sure how to bring it forth. Others, and it needs nurturing. Some of you you've already started, but you're having trouble keeping it going or wondering if it will really work or work out. For others, I think there is going to be you're going to be shown how to bring your gifts forth. I feel like divine timing might be in play here. Look at this card of procrastination. Can you see in the background there's all these calculations in the back of this image? It's almost like if this happens, then that will happen, and then that will happen. So there's step-by-steps we're seeing as well, like planning, that's coming through here. Now, if you are, stability and efficiency, if you have already got an idea of what you want to do, rather than sort of free falling into it. I think some real structure and planning might be really, really helpful. And if you've got this major project in mind but you haven't got a clue how to do it, then just take it one step at a time. Each time you take a step, the next step will then be shown to you. What was this card at the base that was being shown to us? Five of Michael. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. I think it's release your attachment to the outcome here. Or release your, if you have any fixed ideas as to, timetable your time step by step. But I do feel each step you take, the next step will then be shown. That's what we're... So just be patient. Let's get some more information about this. How might this unfold? Eight of Gabriel, a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. I want to say stop worrying about how this is going to actually... what it'll look like. This is like if you were an artist and you're creating a painting or a sculpture. You've got an idea at the beginning as to what it's going to look like, but the finished result may look different. Because once you start working on it and you're engaged in it and you're touching it and feeling it, it's like a potter creating a pot. They've probably got a really good idea of what they want that pot to look like, but it doesn't mean to the exact millimetre or the exact shape it will come out that way. It's going to take on a life of its own. That's what I'm hearing here. It will take on a life of its own, so allow it to unfold organically. Peace. Archangel Azrael. Release the past, there's a more enriching future coming. Let go and let... It says let go and let God. I think let God help you. There's definitely layers in your reading, my beautiful souls. I'm seeing these, I'm seeing, and these. Let's look at these cards first. Okay. We have Five of Gabriel, a challenge you can resolve. Withdraw from the drama of others. Have patience with yourself and those around you. Okay. We have Page of Ariel, reliable, clever, educated, balanced. We have King of Michael, principled, rational, ambitious. Wisdom and objectivity are important. King of Ariel, wow, you've got some huge cards. King of Michael and King of Ariel, successful, stable, accomplished, powerful. Four of Ariel, when you give, you also receive. Okay. Right. What we're being shown here is almost like part of the journey here. So rather than being, it's like when we manifest, we have to take action. Manifesting is about dreaming. It's also about taking action. It's also about reviewing and evaluating and potentially course correcting. It's also about overcoming different hurdles along the way that are there to help to fine tune. They're not hurdles to stop you. They're hurdles to fine tune your manifestations. They involve taking action, having perseverance, patience, consistency, reviewing again. This is the kind of rhythm of manifestation. And I'm seeing you manifesting actually really well here, but I'm seeing the different ages and stages of manifestation when you're going to try some things out, and certain things you might try might not be the right thing, or they may need to be reviewed or course corrected or tweaked along the way. I'm seeing pockets of activity. I'm seeing elements being released that you need to let go of because they haven't worked. Sometimes you need to make a commitment, and that means letting go of some other things that you might once have done that would be in the way. It's like this whole process of manifestation emerging. But what I do see with these two kings in the middle is that this is the pathway you're meant to follow. Okay? You're going to learn along the way. Open up to your spiritual gifts. There's something that will be, every step will be shown to you, and you're going to learn along the way. So some things, as I said, step by step. The key here is to make that commitment, to honour your spiritual gifts and make a commitment to using them, and trusting that however you set forth to use them, it may not come out exactly the way you thought it would, like a sculpture or a potter making a pot. It may not come out in exactly the shape or form that you thought it would, but it will be amazing and it will be right. I mean, I know for myself, having done, illustrations and artwork, I'll have an idea. By the time I finish, it doesn't look like my original idea. It's there, but it's taken on a life of its own. And this is what we're being shown here. It's going to take on a life of its own. This is about sort of committing and being open to changing your perspective along the way, your perspectives, because how you thought you might be delivering your gifts may not end up being the way you're going to, just that it's going to be tweaked and course corrected. I mean, I will use myself as a classic example. Obviously, I was a psychotherapist for a long time. That was my full-time career pathway. Events happened to step me away from that, and it took me into writing. And then that led to what I'm doing now, which is integrating my learning, my understanding into working in more spiritual ways with tarot cards, and building a course to teach people to read, to teach people to listen, to understand. So it's all the bits that I've done come together. But if you told me 10 years ago I'd be doing this, I probably would have laughed at you, if I'm truly honest. So it's organically unfolded. I didn't plan this, but I know that actually it feels as though this is what I'm meant to be doing now, and the course that I'm building is what I'm meant to be doing, and I'm following that through. But it isn't how I thought I'd be working or doing. I thought I might write books about emotions, which I have, but I didn't expect to be doing it this way. So it's very interesting how it's unfolded, and I think that's what's being shown to you in this reading. It's owning your spiritual gifts, but trusting that you'll be shown the way, every step of the way, like the finite details. And for some of you, it will be fine-tuning something. There'll be a better way of approaching it. For others, you may actually end up finding that you go in a completely different direction. It will still integrate everything you've done so far, but, it could be a different direction in some way, shape or form. Just focus the camera there for you. Let's draw some more tarot cards. Let's ask now, because this is your message essentially, but let's ask about the week ahead. Okay, so we've got we have the Knight of Swords coming out. How interesting, sort of sitting here on the Five of Michael. So this is about actually being quite decisive about something. Okay. We've got the Nine of Swords as well. We then have the card of Temperance. We've got the Six of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Cups. And this one too. And the Two of Cups. Okay. This is really interesting, actually. So this is your week ahead that we're looking at here. I'm seeing, in terms of let's say your purpose and your calling, you're being asked to get quite clear here, almost like to set an intention. And to really... The Nine of Swords is interesting. I might just draw some clarifying cards around this, because I'm seeing you bring something back into balance here. Setting a clear intention, and then it's like, what I'm seeing is this sort of debate going on, almost as if you set a clear intention and then for some reason, maybe something will get in the way here of you set a clear intention and it doesn't happen. Curious about this here, and then we see Temperance, things coming back into balance. I'm seeing generosity, a gift being offered to you, resources coming to you that enable you to then pick up this sort of calling and move it forwards. We have the Two of Cups. It could be that someone comes in to help you actually here, to collaborate. Somebody gives you something or offers to help you out with something. Resources come to you to help you to kind of pick up the baton and run with it. Yeah, there's some kind of support coming in at the end of the week here for you. But right at the start of the week, there's still a dilemma in some way. Let's get some information about this Nine of Swords. May we have information about the Nine of Swords? Okay, so we've got the Five of Wands. This looks like the Three of Wands. Is the three? I always muddle the fives and the threes. Look really, really similar, the figures. I think it is a three actually. We have the Nine. How interesting. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Pentacles. We have the card of the Lovers. So this is about choices. Sometimes Temperance can indicate a relationship of higher guidance, higher consciousness. We've got the Two of Cups. This is a card of great satisfaction. Interesting, we've got the Nine of Swords and then the Nine of Pentacles. I think, actually, if you, for example, were listening to this reading and thinking, well, it's all very well, Jenny, to be saying follow your spiritual gifts, but how am I going to do that? You know, I've got a full-time day job, I'm really busy, how on earth am I supposed to follow this idea that I've got? How am I going to do that? And actually, I think some support comes in for you. That's what we're seeing. Some kind of support comes in for you. So get clear about setting an intention of the future. This is with the Three of, I'm sure this is the Three of Wands. Get clear and look ahead. Get clear about kind of like making this commitment to yourself. I think once you do make that commitment, whatever fears and anxieties you have about how, it's almost like all of the fears about the how can be let go of. I think somehow something or someone is coming into you that is going to almost like remove those fears, those concerns, like one sword at a time. It's almost like for every worry you have, a solution will be given to you. For every sword, there'll be a pentacle. That's what I'm kind of seeing here. And it's going to bring this back into balance. You may get literally, if there's a partnership around for some of you, someone coming in who supports you. But otherwise, I think resources, every worry somehow gets removed by a blessing or an idea or an opportunity. You could even write a list of almost like pros and cons, and I think you'll find that for every con there's a pro that's even bigger and better. May we please get a little bit more information. Look at this, we have the card of the World. Sitting under the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I think something is to be opened up for you this week, an opportunity. So every worry you have about how to do this, you've got all these sort of, I know what I want to do, but I'm procrastinating, I feel stuck, I don't know how to do this, all these manifestations. Every anxiety you have, I think, is going to be allayed by something. If you just get still and think about it, I think, and ask for guidance. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. I literally think you will be sent messages, signs, signals. So every concern you have, I think something else will pop up and it will remove the concern or it will allay it. And I think this is, you're seeing a sort of a week of transition where all of the negatives, water off a duck's back, all of the negatives are systematically, slowly but surely removed. It's like a process to go through, so that you know. It's like giving you the clarity of direction and purpose. So you may not even know what the end result's going to look like exactly, although you've got this idea like a potter throwing the pot. But, you know, it's like a potter throwing the pot, but you don't have any clay. And then someone says, oh, I've got clay, you can have mine. You know, I've got this, you know, I hear you're interested in pottery, I've got this clay, would you like it? And then somebody else, you think, yeah, but I haven't got a wheel to throw the pot on. And then suddenly, you know, you go to a car boot sale and there's a wheel and it's just going for next to nothing. It's like all these things I think are going to fall into place. The pathway will be shown to you. That's what we're being shown here. And look at that, would you? We have the 10 of Pentacles. What a joyous card to receive. And then we have the 9 of Cups. How amazing that you've got the 9 of Swords, you've got the 9 of Pentacles, you know, what you need coming to you, literally every sword being cancelled by a pentacle. And then we have the 9 of Cups, like everything just clicking into place. And with the 10 of Pentacles, I mean, what a confirmation. So yeah, I think this is literally make that commitment. And I think all of your concerns, fears about the hows, systematically you'll be shown the way. Negativity be gone. I think is literally what's going to happen. Every thought that says I can't, something will pop up to say, oh yes, you can. And I think that's what we're seeing here. Wow, this feels like a week where things are just going to systematically move forwards for you, step by step by step. Wow, fab, amazing. Open up to your spiritual gifts. It's what you're meant to be doing. Pile 3, tons of love to you. I am sending you all the love in the world. Let me just make sure that camera is focused for you. I think it is. I think it's been focused. But anyway, I will just do that. Look at that. Here I am giving you focus. That's what it feels like. Get focused. Get really clear. And then trust. You'll be shown and guided. What you need will come. How amazing. Pile 3, I'm sending you the biggest hug in the world. This feels absolutely amazing. Keep us posted. Thank you, all of you, for sharing and liking and for your comments, for your love and support of me, your love and support of each other. And yeah, if you feel able to, do please share and let us know what is happening in your world as your spiritual gifts are unfolding and the way is shown. Tons of love, beautiful souls. This is amazing. I love this water off a duck's back. Negativity systematically being removed and replaced with real stuff that means you can move this forwards and make it happen. This just feels fab. Fab, fab, and more fab. Tons of love, pile 3.